The Triple H-led creative regime has been putting on spectacular television every week as WWE heads to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, for the Night of Champions premium live event on June 28th. An unfortunate incident on this week's edition of Monday Night Raw could force Triple H to retire a major championship. Liv Morgan went one-on-one with Sane on this week's Raw. Fans were expecting an exciting back-and-forth contest between the two stars. But unfortunately, the bout had to be stopped by the match official soon after it started as Morgan landed awkwardly on her shoulder. Sane was awarded the victory as the Miracle Kid was unable to continue. It was later revealed on the show by Michael Cole that Morgan had suffered a dislocated shoulder. Reports suggest this injury may put the Miracle Kid on the shelf for a while. If that's the case, this puts a question mark on the future of the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship held by Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Morgan's untimely injury may have disrupted Triple H's creative plans for future storylines, and the game could be forced to take drastic measures and retire the Women's Tag Team Championship for good. With Morgan potentially sidelined for a while, Triple H could take the focus away from the Women's Tag Team title and eventually take it off television. At WrestleMania 41, it looked like the Women's Tag Team Championship would finally be the center focus of a major storyline, as Becky Lynch made her return as Lyra Valkyria's partner to take on the reigning champions, Morgan and Rodriguez. However, it was only used to kickstart a rivalry between Lynch and Valkyria. The Women's Tag Team title was last defended on Raw after WrestleMania 41, where Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez won back the championship from Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch. The Miracle Kid took some time off after that to film a movie, which put the title on hold. Even after returning, Morgan has been focused on the Judgment Day drama and the Women's World Championship. The Women's Tag Team Championship has not been given priority by Triple H lately, which makes its future uncertain after Morgan's injury. That said, it is only speculation for now. Fans will have to wait and see how the Stamford-based promotion handles this situation in the coming weeks. On last week's Raw, Nikki Bella returned to promote the upcoming all-women's premium live event, Evolution. Bella was interrupted by Liv Morgan, who attacked her after a back-and-forth verbal smackdown. It looked like WWE had sown the seeds of a program between Nikki Bella and Liv Morgan for Evolution 2025. However, with the Miracle Kid getting injured on this week's Raw, Triple H may be forced to pivot. Nikki Bella could instead challenge current Women's World Champion Io Sky at Evolution 2. The two stars had a brief interaction backstage on last week's Raw. It will be interesting to see how Morgan's untimely injury affects the storylines in the coming weeks. In the wake of an explosive and chaotic episode of WWE Raw, rumors are running wild across the WWE Universe, and they all point to one thing. Triple H might be planning to retire a major WWE championship. Yep, you read that right. After months of creative restructuring under the game's leadership as Chief Content Officer, a dramatic shift could be on the horizon. And following the events of this week's Raw, fans, insiders, and wrestlers alike are bracing for a seismic change in WWE's championship landscape. So what's the buzz all about? Which title is in danger? And why would Triple H make such a bold move? Let's break it all down. Raw, the episode that sparked the speculation. On this week's episode of WWE Raw, the tension backstage was almost more intense than what we saw in the ring. The show featured a disastrous title defense ending in controversy, a major injury scare that derailed a planned title feud, a shocking promo from Triple H that teased an end to tradition, several cryptic tweets and backstage reports about an imminent title shakeup. But the real jaw-dropper came in the final segment. Triple H's bombshell promo. As the show closed, Triple H walked out to a thunderous ovation, but his tone quickly turned serious. There comes a time when we must evolve, when we must step forward by letting go of the past. He continued, not all titles are meant to last forever. Some symbols have served their purpose. The screen then faded to black, with a close-up shot of a championship belt draped in shadows. The internet exploded. Fans were left speculating. Which title is Triple H talking about? Is this a farewell? Or just a rebranding? Which championship could be retired? There are several possibilities on the table, but here are the top contenders. 1. WWE Women's Tag Team Championship, plagued with injuries and constant partner changes, frequent title vacations, and confusing reigns. Fans often criticize the division for lacking depth. If there's a title most fans agree could be retired, it's this one. Despite its noble intent, the division hasn't gained serious momentum, and Triple H may want to hit the reset button. 2. WWE 24/7 Championship, already retired, technically scrapped in 2022, but it may resurface briefly for a farewell segment. Could serve as a symbolic gesture of moving past gimmick-era titles. 3. Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships, with the return of brand splits and the introduction of Raw and SmackDown titles again. The idea of unified tag champs is messy. We could see a re-separation or complete restructuring. 4. Intercontinental or United States Championship, long shot. Some wild theories online suggest Triple H may unify or redesign one of these historic titles. Highly unlikely, given their rich history and current prestige boosts. Triple H's vision: quality over quantity. Since taking creative control, Triple H has been focused on legitimizing WWE titles. Gunther's dominant IC reign has brought prestige back. The World Heavyweight Championship was introduced to balance Roman Reigns' part-time, undisputed reign. The NXT Championships were restructured with a more sports-like feel. Retiring or redesigning a title fits this pattern. Triple H doesn't just want belts. He wants meaning behind them. If a title has become a prop instead of a prize, it's on the chopping block. What fans and insiders are saying. Wrestling media outlets like Fightful, Twinsider, and Wrestling Observer have all chimed in. Sean Ross Sapp tweeted, "Multiple sources backstage say something big is coming. One title may not survive past Money in the Bank." Dave Meltzer speculated, "Triple H wants championships that feel earned, not passed around like hot potatoes." Fans on Reddit and Twitter are deep into theory crafting. He's totally scrapping the women's tag titles. They've been cursed from day one. They better not touch the IC title. What if he retires a belt and introduces a new one for Survivor Series? What happens if a title is retired? If Triple H follows through and retires a championship? Here's what could happen next. 1. Final match/retirement ceremony. Expect a farewell match, either to unify it with another title or to give it a dignified send-off. 2. New championship announcement. Triple H could replace the retired belt with a brand new title, possibly a trios championship, a hardcore revival, or something totally original. 3. Roster reshuffle. Wrestlers currently in title scenes would be repositioned, potentially leading to new feuds, turns, or call-ups from NXT. Triple H's endgame: legacy over chaos. Here's what we know for sure. Triple H thinks long-term. He's not looking to shock for the sake of headlines. If a championship is getting retired, it's because it no longer fits his vision of legacy, competition, and storytelling. Fans may resist change at first, but we've already seen how his leadership has revived matches, elevated mid-carders, and created long-term storytelling arcs we actually care about: the bloodline, Judgment Day, Cody's journey. Final thoughts. Is a title retirement the right move? It's bold. It's risky, but it might be necessary.